I get quite a lot of my wood out of the woods, and trees that fell down over time, go out there with a chainsaw and select whatever I can. But most of that wood isn't that dry. It can be very, very wet, and look, you know, twice turned bowls is fine, but often I like to get some dry wood seasoned and it's ready to be cut up and put onto the lathe. So most of the stuff that I've got, you've got this type of slab wood, comes from locals that have been milling it in their backyards, got a bit of property with woods on it, and they've felled the trees and over time dried this wood out. Now a particular supplier, which doesn't live too far away from me, I get some very good seasoned wood. Now this here is about 2.5 inches thick, so it's a nice thick size for making bowls. It is kind of narrow on one end, 9 inches, and 11 inches on the other end. So when I cut this, I want to get a square out of it. So in this case, we're going to go for the thick end and cut 11 by 11. So onto the bandsaw and get this square cut right off. Now we'll get the centres of both sides of this lathe round. Centre finder, I call it. Turn her over, do the other side. This on the lathe between centres. Now this is my normal fashion. Foot's going on this end, so it's going to be a fairly wide, shallow depth bowl. Going to ramp this up to as fast as it can before it starts shaking, so I think around about 600 RPM. And we'll start with the 5/8 bowl gouge. This is a fairly large bowl. I'm going to use the Vicmark chuck. It's a 5-inch chuck. Going to cut the foot using the bowl gouge and the skew. Now you get this bowl fairly round on the outside and shaped. So I'm going to take quite a bit off here. I might go a little bit of an OG. Get it back on the bowl gouge and let's get it into shape. That knot is going to be fairly problematic. Might have to fill that with a little bit of epoxy or perhaps CA and sawdust. But the grain's looking quite nice. Happy with that. Onwards. So you've got the Vicmark chuck attached to the bowl, flip back onto the headstock and let it screw in. Now, since the bowl's mounted onto the Vic Mark truck and it's turned around, we've got a little bit of a wobble on the outside of the bowl. So I'm going to get that corrected first off. So this face is pretty well smoothed out now, so we're going to hollow the bowl out. Okay, so aside from the knot that's right there smacking the side of the bowl, stabilise that with a CA glue and a lot of wood sawdust there. And I'm going to sand from 120 grit all the way through to 320. Put on some sanding sealer, Acks greased, Acks polish, and a bit of friction polish towards the end there. So we got the finishes on the bowl now, so it's come up pretty good. It's kind of a sheen matte finish. I may still put some friction polish on to finish that off, but it came up pretty good. The knot came out stabilised, so that's looking pretty good. The sapwood, I've put very little of it, but the grain itself is very spectacular. So just to accentuate the rim here, got a very square looking rim. And to complement that, I'm going to use the pointing tool. You can see it here, hopefully in the camera. Let's get it a bit of focus for you. Yeah, so you can see there it's got 3 sides like a pyramid. It comes to a very fine point. So I'm going to use that along with a hot wire which heats up when it's applied to the bowls for the friction, and it burns the mark that I'm going to cover. So you'll see it quite plainly. I'm going to start this off right now. Get the revs up to about 600 RPM. I'm going to put 2 lines, not 3, and I'll tell you that in a moment. Okay, so that's 2 lines side by side. You can just barely see that in the camera. You'll be able to see it in a moment when I put the hot wire on. So what happened there was I didn't have the camera on record. That's silly me. So you'll see there's a result, but I'm going to show you again how this hot wire operates. You can already see the result, but just going to show you how it's applied. So again, the hot wire goes into the groove made by the pointing tool, and it heats up and makes a very dark line from the heat. Doing the second one, again, a very dark line. A little bit of smoke there. So this time it was recorded and you can see the result. Great. On with the vacuum truck. There is a video I made about the Bruegel trunk. It's quite a popular video, so if you're interested in doing a vacuum truck purchase, look up for my video listed below. Now I'm going to take this foot off here to a degree. I may have like a little stand on the bottom of the bowl here, but also I'm going to try some texturing on the bottom just to accentuate the bottom of the bowl this time. Here we go. So what we're going to do here now is use the texturing tool on the bottom of the bowl. I'm going to make a few designer marks freehand. Be careful when you're using this against the bowl when it's attached to a vacuum truck. In fact, I just might be on the safe side and bring my tailstock back up just in case. Not going to go too far. About 45 degrees with this one. Okay, it's not too bad. here. I like that inside one, but I'm not so sure I like this one on the outside. Going to give it a bit more. This could turn nasty. Not so bad. Going to accentuate that with the pointing tool, just to give those textures a bit of a border. Yeah, that's one goddamn awful catch there. I'm going to have to fix that. Lucky the bowl didn't come off with the tailstock in where it should be. Finished product on the end of this video here. It's been a pleasing result actually. I was quite pleased with what it all turned out. So until next week guys, cheers.